Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Roar. Today is Monday, the 12th of October. Today the topic is sweeping under the rug. Now this is something that, I've been thinking about quite a bit, for a long time. In fact, it goes back to about 40 years. I'm going to tell you a little story about sweeping under the rug. I was working for a fast food restaurant that was owned by Marriott Corporation in the Washington, D.C. suburbs back in the early 80s. And because we were so close to the main headquarters for Marriott Corporation, we often got visits from Mr. Marriott himself, Richard Marriott, who was in charge of the restaurants. And one of the things that happened, and it's left a big impression on me, is we would know like a day before when he was going to be making his visit, and our district manager would tell the manager, and the manager would say, well, we've got to do these things to make sure that the place looks right for the visit from Mr. Marriott. I understood at the time that the reviews that my manager and my district manager got at the time were all based on how good these reviews were, that when Mr. Marriott would come and visit the store. So the night before the visit, we kept extra crews there late, and we scrubbed with a toothbrush around every drain. We made sure that everything in the walk-in refrigerator was marked with the correct date. We made sure that the grill was scraped and cleaned as clean as possible, and everything was weighed and recorded correctly, and the dates and all the charts were up to date, and everything was right. So when we would get a visit, it would be perfect for Mr. Marriott, and we'd get a good review, and therefore our manager and our boss would get a good review, and everything would be great. They'd get the raises. And it always kind of bugged me, because I thought, how difficult is it that when you do this, you're actually doing all this extra work for a certain situation to look good at a certain time, but as soon as that visit was over, everything went back to normal. The place wasn't never cleaned as well. The dates weren't always checked as closely. The grill wasn't clean. Nothing. The walk-in refrigerator wasn't organized. All that stuff that we were doing, particularly for that instance, wasn't done for our regular customers, but it was done for our visit. And I thought, this is really a shame, because if we could do these standards that we are requiring ourselves to do for the visit, and we could maintain them all the time, we could be visited any time and it wouldn't be a problem. And that is a big problem that a lot of businesses have. And gosh, it happens all the time with not only businesses, but the way maybe even governments are run. We're trying to make everything look right, look good, by kind of hiding what the real truth is. We're deciding what's important, and we're taking care of it at that time, but it might not be the truth. So it's kind of a deception. So one of the things that I really like to emphasize when I'm talking with leaders and managers is to make sure that if you're going to have strong standards, be consistent 100% of the time. It's a whole lot easier, actually. Then you don't have to worry about telling people to work overtime to get the place cleaned up for a visit. Instead, that's your standard. Set high standards instead of allowing things to fall and then have to build them up to have a visit. Have a great day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.